So today I'm going to talk about the Q, the success factor. So Q is the least used word in the English language actually, but in learning marathon we have already covered one Q on Tuesday by quantum computing by Aslam, and I'm going to do one Q today. So it looks like learning marathon is doing a lot of Qs. So before going into what Q is, I just want to say what success is. Like Daniel sir rightly said in the first session itself, like success varies to people, but success is basically like setting up a goal and achieving it. So that's a major thing. Like that goal could be anything as simple as getting up early in the morning, or going for a trip, or it could be real big, like setting up a business and so on. So success could mean a different to different people, but it the after, like when we succeed, the sense of happiness, the sense of achievement is what matters the most. So today, the Q, what I mean here is quotient. Quotient, when I say simply quotient, it may not mean anything to anybody, but it is the when I say it with the words prior to Q, then it would mean something to people. So IQ, EQ, MQ, BQ, PQ, SQ, a lot of Qs have come. So that is what I'm gonna talk. Like I'm not gonna talk about all. Like I'm gonna touch base like just few Qs today. So IQ is the one. IQ is the one which is like first of all like came into picture. The psychologist first came up with the thought like the intelligence can be measured. Intelligence initially was considered uh, on mathematical understanding, logical reasoning, and memorizing and recalling what we memorize. So that is what considered intelligence in the initial period, and people like Binet and Simon, they are the psychologists. They came up with a test that could measure intelligence in people who like intelligence can be measured from children to elders. Like anybody can take this test, and that is how it came into picture. And then later in the years, like 1980s or so, there's another psychologist who came up with the thought like no, intelligence is not just one, not just mathematical reasoning, not just logical reasoning, not just memorizing. So intelligence is more than that. It is like and he came up with nine different intelligence, like musical, existential, interpersonal, a lot more like that. Like there are nine different intelligence what he came up with. So we are all born with one sort of intelligence. Like we have to find what we are good at, and when we work on it, like when we put a lot of practice on it, and when we work on it, we become an expert in that area. So like becoming an expert is again a success. Like it's again something we gain. Like we are known for that in the industry, we are known for that among the people. So that is again considered a success. So intelligence, like first of all, like intelligence is what I mean to say. Then comes into the picture called emotional quotient. So people say only 15% of your success matters when you have IQ, high IQ. The others are mattered with other types of quotients, like other type of intelligence or quotients like EQ, SQ, and so on. So we know a few people like Stephen Hawkins and Albert Einstein, who has real high IQ and who's really considered experts in their field, but they are not just the successful ones. We've seen many other successful ones. So what if my IQ is not to that par, if my IQ is not to that genius level, how can I succeed? Even with the IQ whatever I have, maybe I have the average person's IQ, how can I succeed? So that's when EQ comes into picture, the emotional quotient. Emotional quotient is basically like you understand your own emotions, and you know what your emotions means, and you react, you respond to a situation based on that. It doesn't stop with us, it also moves with the people who is next to us. Like it also about others feeling, understanding others feeling, and understanding other how they feel, and perceiving how they react, and responding to that basically. So emotional quotient is considered more important than IQ nowadays. So emotional quotient can be like EQ can be built actually. Like we can really look forward to it. We can really sit and understand it, and we can really build it. And the better leaders are ones with higher EQ rather than higher IQ. So like if we want to become a better leader, if we want to become great leaders, then it is very important that we have a higher EQ. EQ starts from us, the self awareness about me, my personal emotions, how I perceive things, how I understand my own emotions. And when there's something comes my way, like when there's a problem or anything, how do I respond to it? So it starts from there. So first understanding myself emotions, that's self awareness, then managing it, that is self management. Then when I know about my emotions better, when I know about my emotions better, and when I respond to it properly, then goes moves into the social awareness. So I tend to understand other people's emotions as well. When they come and open up to me, I would be able to listen to them. I would be able to lend my ears to them and try to resolve what their problem is. So that moves into social awareness and relationship management. Then comes the relationship management, where I would be able to maintain a proper relationship with the people around me. So people would be happy to talk to me, people would be happy to come and say what they want to say. There won't be any barrier between me and them. So that was emotional quotient. And when I have a good when every one of us have a good and high emotional intelligence, we would be able to own what we are meant to do. So we would love to take responsibilities. We would say, okay, yes, I would be able to do it. And we would take criticism positively. We say, okay, it doesn't hurt my emotions, it is like basically of what I did, and yeah, I would be improving next. So we would be able to say no to certain wherever we need to, because there are few people who doesn't know how to say no, how to because like so we would be able to say no to certain times when we need to. So that is also there, and we would be able to listen to people and empathize with them and understand their emotions and react to it. We won't be judgmental. So that was emotional quotient. And when we have higher emotional quotient, as said, we will become a good leader. So that was IQ and EQ. And the third Q, what I'm going to emphasize is CQ. CQ is basically like it came into pictures only uh, recently, like in the 21st century only. So Tom Friedman is the person who came up with this concept called CQ. CQ is curiosity quotient. So curiosity is questioning, like what is it, why is it happening like that. So CQ is really strong. Like since I have a 4-year-old boy, I know how little kids are very curious. My kid would ask questions to anything and everything in the world. எதுக்கு ஏன் why what this keeps going until like I give him a proper answer. I don't know whether he understands as well. So that is the CQ level we all had in our early stages. But as we moved to school, and as we moved to colleges, and as we moved to in our career, we kind of like suppressed the CQ, and we kind of like we just made that sleep somewhere, and we just like walked past that without even touching it. So I would call upon you to wake that up again, because CQ is basically um, moving out of your comfort zone. You do not know something, but you want to know what it is. So learning marathon is actually one of the reasons why learning marathon is happening, is to kindle that CQ in you, kindle that curiosity in us. Because 2 days back, when Arun spoke about dreams, or when Aslam spoke about quantum computing, I'm not sure how many of us know, but and yesterday when Elasticsearch was spoken by Deepan, it was all new concepts, and it was very crisp in 15 minutes. It just like gives us very basics. So then our curiosity is kindled, and we want to go and understand what exactly it is, why this is creating a lot of buzz. What should I do? Like, how do I know more about it? So that's the curiosity. That's what we want from this learning marathon. Like, that curiosity has to be built. you have to build upon it. You have to like keep grasping information. How do I get that information? Where do I get? Only when our CQ is like it is at higher level, we'll be able to solve problems. Simple solution would be enough for certain problems, but when we shut our CQ completely off, we would not be able to do that. So CQ is one thing that could easily give solution for a lot of our problems. Our creative mind is opened up, our innovative mind is opened up. So being a leader already with the good EQ, with CQ, we would be able to become an innovative leader, a problem solving leader, a person who others would look up to. And also, the same person, Tom Friedman, has said, CQ with passion is greater than IQ. So even if my IQ is lower, even if I'm a mediocre person with just IQ of 100, I would be able to succeed and I would be able to do greater things in area of my interest if my CQ and passion is higher. If my CQ and passion is to the level that I want to achieve something in that area. So even if my average even if I'm one among the average, I can become a leader too, I can become someone great too. So the final Q is not proposed by any of the psychologists. This one, when I was listening to a few podcasts and few videos, I came across this called LQ. This one was proposed by a person called Jack Ma. So you all know Jack Ma. So LQ is basically quotient of love. So in whatever you do, in whoever you talk to, add a little bit of love to it. So the love is what makes us a great human being. The love what makes us connected to other people. So that's what the end thing I want to add to my speech. So whatever we do, let's do it with love. Let's just don't give up. Let's stand up for what we think is right, for our moral values. Let's just not leave it for others. So uh, whatever we do, let's do it with love. So that is what I want to say today. So IQ, EQ, CQ, and LQ are the formula for what we call the successes. Thank you.